Welcome to another edition of Walnut Grove Cultural Conversations, where two local pastors, Juan and
Dos,
sit in front of this bookshelf and talk about things that are going on in the world around us. And one of the things that's been a big topic of conversations for us around the proverbial water cooler, and probably for you at your whatever the water cooler looks like these days.
your sink.
Yeah,
If you're working from home.
Yeah, is
Or your fridge if you're really lucky.
Hey, for real.
Life goal.
Is the fact that the stimulus package is being put together and that there's this possible payment and the numbers are being thrown out, and we're trying to figure out, okay, if all this money's coming in, how do we use it best to have an impact for good? And so that's what we wanted to talk about, is kind of what we've been milling about.
Yeah,
So
really for us it's been this question of what's the most impact? How can we make the most impact? Is going to Aruba going to make the most impact? Or, buying a motorcycle, is that going to make the most impact? And maybe, but here's where we came to. We came down to 3 P's. We want to determine our priorities, we want to make a plan, and then we want to help others prosper. And so first it begins with what's important to you. And for us, we were talking, and it got into things of well, my faith's important to me. Other people are important to me. Local businesses and entrepreneurs are important to us. Lots of things are important. And so first, just determine what's important to you. And gosh, write it down. Right? You ever do that exercise? It's what do I actually care about?
yeah, I think that, some of the most fundamental things is sitting there and going, okay, what are the actual values and value sets that I have, and not letting them just live in your head, but instead actually talk about them, get them written down so that you can actually see what it is you're caring about, and then making sure that your actual life is aligning with them.
Yeah, it's crazy because if our whole life is actually declaring what our priorities are, how often do we just never really articulate what they are, never clear about what matters? We're just trying to get through the day. And so we want to do better than just get through another day. So we want to prioritize, find our priorities. Second is make a plan. I don't know if you found this to be true, but I have. If I don't have a plan for every dollar in my life, I look back and I say, okay, I was told I was given a stimulus pack. Money came in. Mm-hmm. Where did it go?
Yeah, that happens all the time. I remember back to when before I was married, and I was a, semi-watt eligible bachelor, whatever that means, and I was living the single life. One of the big things that I was really into at the time was going bass fishing. I spent so much money at the local tackle shop and at the Walmart fishing section, and I'd be like, I don't know why I spent so much on this. And I look back at the stuff that's just shoved in the corner of my garage now because I don't have time.
That had to help you with the ladies, though.
Oh, yeah.
I assume fishing's high up on their
priority list. I'm not going to reveal my secrets. So,
hey, the show's coming to you soon.
Yeah.
Local pastor bachelor.
So what we're talking about, gosh. So, but the reason I was bringing that up
is... You think these don't get a lot of views?
Yeah.
That gets less.
The fishing pastor.
Pastor bachelor.
But what happens is, because I didn't actually come up with an idea of okay, how am I actually spending this money? When I sat down and realized how much I had spent over time on this thing, and how tight money was getting because I was just spending without thinking about it, I realized I needed a plan. And that kind of helped shape the way that my wife and I handle money to this day.
Yeah. So we want to prioritize, we want to make the plan, and then we want to execute it in a way that we can be blessed to bless others. One of the fundamental things of the Christian faith is that we have been received grace, so we can offer grace. We've been comforted, so we can comfort. You get how this is going, man. We've been blessed in all sorts of ways, even financially, materially, so we can be a blessing to others. And so that's the third thing, is where can you help others prosper? And that's something you can do individually, of course. You can support your local food bank or food pantry. You can volunteer in an organization that you care about. But I also think there's this element of being part of something bigger than yourself that allows you to have an even greater impact.
Yeah. I encourage those watching this, dream big, because it's from individuals, it's from people just like you who say that there's something that they're passionate about that causes huge change in the world. It happens time and time again, and when you partner with people, it just amplifies that and makes it exponential. And that's some of the beauty of the local church. That's some of the beauty of when the Christian church is doing what it's supposed to be doing. A lot of these other things, a lot of the worries and stress of like, for the people in the community who don't have this stimulus, isn't this huge like buffer, but it's like, thank goodness I have food on my table next week. When the local church is partnered with, from people just like you, when local food banks and things like that are supported, then so are those issues, so are those things. And that's what we're talking about with the priorities and with making sure that you're having an impact. And so let's have that conversation of what can we do to have a huge impact and dream big. Because, I mean, the mountain is moved by moving the first stone. And so let's start moving stones, people, and let's have an impact.
Or if you are anti-animal, the old saying is, how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. So let's get to eating elephants and moving mountains in our communities and in our neighborhoods and in the people's lives who are closest to us.
So go back to the 3 P's: priorities, the plan, and then prospering others around us.
And with that said, guys, we will see you guys next week on another edition of Walnut Grove Cultural Conversations. Cheers.